There we go. Should be right now.
Right, okay, so we're back. Yeah, that's good. Sorry, we had a few technical issues there. I don't know what happened with Graham, but Graham to the rescue. That's what I say. Well done, mate, for coming in. You weren't supposed to come in to get see what happens when you're not on. Everything goes.
I know, it's shocking. Tell you, things fall apart when I'm not here.
Exactly. So I'm just going to leave Graham for a minute because I've got to send the stream to other people. So I will be back.
No worries. So yeah, I wasn't meant to be here today. I'm actually going out very shortly with family, but I thought I would jump on to talk about the Hearts game yesterday. And lo and behold, we're not talking about that. But yeah, I will persevere because that's just what I do. But yeah, I think looking at the Livingston game tomorrow, it's going to be a hard game. Let me see if there's any chats coming in. I mean, I think it will be a difficult game tomorrow. But as I said, Livingston have got to do better than last week because I thought against Aberdeen, they didn't really show enough going forward. I think if they can get Joel Nouble, as I mentioned earlier, and get Joel Nouble in an attacking area, then it could cause problems. But, you know, it's going to be very hard. But I think... Oh, and I'm now back in Moulton again. This is going well. So yeah, what I'll do is I'm going to basically touch on the Hearts game yesterday. Michael might come back to this in a minute. But because obviously I watched the game yesterday, and I thought Hearts' first half were very poor. The decision to start Benny Meningame was the wrong idea for me. Should never started him because he wasn't fit. And I'm a massive fan of Benny, but he wasn't fit yesterday. He basically was at fault for really both the goals. It was his mistakes that cost us the goals. And I just thought the team sheet yesterday, when it came out, I was all right with it, but Benny was a risk and it didn't work. It wasn't a great first half. I thought we made Rosenborg look far better than they were. Don't get me wrong, they're a decent side. The young laddie who was 16-year-old in midfield was excellent. Have to say he was excellent. But apart from that, and the guy out wide as well, a guy called Nelson, looked very good. But I mean, I just think we made them look, to be honest, a lot better than they were. But then that's European football for you. The one thing that I said before the game yesterday was we had to get back to Tynecastle still in the tie. We needed to be at least within a goal off the tie, and we've done that. Shankland's goal yesterday was massive. It was a really, really good ball in from Kingsley, a really good header from Shankland. And we started to kind of look more comfortable, I would say. We dominated the game. We didn't really let them get a foot on the game. And it's actually quite ironic to the fact that the guy that was causing us the problems in the first half and parts of the second half, Nelson on the left-hand side, they took him off. And within 5 minutes of that, we started to dominate the game. So we've given ourselves a chance now, but the substitutions made the difference in that game. There's no doubt about that. Bringing on Haring made a massive difference. He was excellent. I thought young Aidan Denham, when he came on, was fantastic. Really, really impressed with him when he came on. George Grant, who I've not been a massive fan of, was actually very impressive yesterday. I thought he was really good. So there are positives to take from yesterday, and Michael is back. I think. Michael, are you back? This is going well.
Yeah.
Oh, Michael's here.
Can you just give me another mini 5 seconds if that's okay? I'm just running about in the back. Well, not running about, but you know what I mean.
So you would think this show's organised, but it's clearly not. It's gone a bit mental today. So let me see who else is around. Oh, Dave's there. Hopefully he'll come in a minute. All right, Dave, how's it going, son?
I'm okay, thanks, Graham. I don't. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, it's just I'm on the phone.
No, that's all right. So, it's fine. So, what was your take on the Hearts game yesterday? And do you now give Hearts a really good chance to get through, having got that away goal, or having got that goal yesterday from Shankland?
Yeah, I do give them a chance. I mean, that goal that they got in Norway was critical with regards to progressing through the group. I mean, had they not got that, I think they'd have been massive. They'd have been struggling, absolutely. But they got that goal. That was absolutely humongous as far as they're concerned. They'll obviously be looking to do a little bit more. But yeah, they'll be happy with where they're at. 2-1's at a fairly respectable scoreline for Hearts. And yeah, they'll get a lot of positivity from that outcome. They weren't expected to go to Norway and do relatively much, in all fairness. I mean, Rosenborg are a decent enough outfit. And when you take everything into consideration, by the way, I don't know where games went, but there we go. By the way, we are having a few technical issues, as has been perceived and anticipated this evening's.
Michael's there.
Oh, look, it's 5 o'clock again. Oh, no, it's not. It's 5:20. Listen, sorry about that. I don't know what happened, actually. You missed the best part of the show, actually. But I'm not going to repeat what I said off here, because that will put us off here. But yeah, Graham, you were talking about the Hearts game earlier on.
Friday
Yeah, I
night,
mean, I
so
thought-
it's obviously
Yeah, I mean, I thought first half we were very poor. Didn't really create enough chances. I thought Benny Beningame was a poor choice in midfield. Clearly wasn't fit. Second half was much better. Delighted with the second half, and I think that goal gives us a really good chance to get through now. I'll be back in 1 minute.
Okay, so that means we will go back now. This is a bit of a back to front show tonight. I like this kind of show. So we're going to now speak about the Rangers and Livingston game tomorrow. But before we got a dinosaur glimmering into the computer, but we're talking about the game on Wednesday night. Dave, what about that? So that's an amazing show, by the way. Thanks for watching tonight, and good night. No, it's yeah. So let's hear a bit from Michael Beale. He was speaking to the media today on Rangers TV about the game tomorrow against Livingston.
David,
See you later on.
the work that him and his staff do. So I think it'll be a tough game, yeah. 1 or 2 bumps and bruises we just need to assess now. So 1 or 2 will miss out. I'm not going to give you any names, or I'm not going to give Davey any names today rather than yourselves. But no, there's 1 or 2 that we'll need to protect this weekend because they've got 1 or 2 things niggling in the background.
There we go. That was Michael Beale talking about the game tomorrow. And it's funny that when they say to the media, Dave, Graham, that he doesn't want to give anything away to David Martindale, because I'm sure Livingston went there last season and did not get a point off for Rangers when Livingston scored in 20 minutes, and it wasn't until at the end of the game Rangers got an equaliser at a point at Ibrox. So it's going to be a very difficult game for them tomorrow.
They did, and I can't remember who it was, but Livingston had a man sent off that day as well. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember who it was, but the man sent off, so they really got a point. And you know what Livingston are like? They're a dogged side. They don't give much away, but I swear they're going to have that threat going forward that'll be the big issue. I mean, let's be honest, Rangers didn't look great last week against Kilmarnock. Kilmarnock played well, but they didn't look great last week. It is going to take time for the new finish to settle. Of course it is. But they can't afford to play catch-up with Celtic already. I mean, if they drop points tomorrow and then Aberdeen don't beat Celtic, then straight away, Rangers are 6 points behind. So they've got to pick up points tomorrow. I think they will, but I think Liverpool will make it difficult for them, because that's what Livingston do. They make it tough for teams. But how Rangers play tomorrow is going to be interesting, because a lot of Rangers fans that I've seen already are not overly impressed with the signings, and it's like one game. So there's a lot to take on there, I think.
No, exactly. Do you think that Rangers will suffer a bit of a hangover after Wednesday night's game? Because even though they beat that team 2-1, they weren't in top form.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, it tends to happen after European games, though. You know, that you do tend to find a bit of a hangover. they'll hope there isn't, but Livingston are going to hope there is. Because if Livingston can take advantage of that, they can make it a very uncomfortable day. I mean, again, I don't think Rangers were great against Servette. You know, a better team might have put a couple more goals past Rangers that night. They've managed to win the game, fair enough, but that tie over in Switzerland is going to be massive. But if Livingston can take advantage of that, you just never know. You know, these Rangers players at the moment haven't gelled yet. It's going to be a very difficult atmosphere as well, because if they're not winning comfortably by half time, that crowd will get on the back. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens in that game.
Let's hear from David Martindale. He was speaking this morning to Livingston TV about the game tomorrow at Ibrox.
The weekend's not going to have any reflection on how we approach a game. Is the mindset different from one? Probably not. No, I don't think it is. We're going there to make sure we don't lose the game first and foremost, but within that we want to pose a threat going forward to try and win the game. We've got 2 or 3 struggling with injuries, Brian, coming off the back of the Aberdeen game, to be honest. So we'll reevaluate them on Friday. But there's 2 or 3 got knocks, challenges in the game. Me, Brucey came off in a stretcher. Tells you everything you need to know. And Curtis Guthrie got a bad one in the first half. And me, Pitt's got bruised ribs. So we'll reevaluate all 3. Potentially 2 out of the 3 might make it, but I wouldn't be surprised if neither or any of them are available, to be honest.
There you go, that was David Martindale speaking yesterday to the media about the game tomorrow at Ibrox. I was just thinking about, just before you come on, Graham, and just before the dinosaurs and all that going to the technology, I was saying to Reagan about last week's game against Ross County, where they actually came and had a go at Celtic, and, well, not had a go, but they weren't parking 10 buses bang the ball. Do you think that's what Livingston will do tomorrow, or do you think they'll still do that?
Nah, I think they'll still do that, to be honest. I mean, I heard you before, and you are right. You know, it was actually quite nice to see Ross County having a go at Celtic last week. And I said this to Ross when he was on last week. It's a free hit. You know, first game of the season at Celtic Park, not expecting anything. Why not have a go? And they did that, and they were, you know, they didn't deserve to be 3-0 down, let's be honest. They were very unlucky. But they created a threat. I don't know if Livingston have got that much of a threat, though. I think Ross County have got a bigger threat. So I think Livingston will go there, try and keep it tight, probably try and snatch a goal from a set piece or, you know, a corner or something, but they're going to have to keep it to score early. And it could be a difficult day. It could be a difficult Livingston, but you know what? At 0-0, the more difficult it's going to be.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's really quite interesting as well. And I saw them against Aberdeen last week, and they looked kind of okay. But I mean, that was on the highlights. You know, we weren't at the game as well. But I saw David Martindale a lot at his press conferences, and I think I said this to you last week as well. Between today's press conference and last week's press conference, it looked very, very down in terms of like, you know, I think the financial side is going to hit Livingston quite difficult now.
Yeah, I said that last week. He's looked probably and sounded the most defeated I've heard him for a long, long time. You know, when he talks about the fact that he was talking to 6 players and he couldn't financially attract them, he sounded really down then. And I get it. You know, it's not the most easy to attract players to Livingston. I can understand that. But he's going to have to try and do something because they are very short. They're short up front. I think they need a bit more quality in midfield, but they've got to get that. They've got to get the striking position sorted. They probably need at least 2 or 3 more additions up there. And as I say, there's still a few weeks left of the window, but you don't want to do all this work now when the season started. You want to have that done before the season starts. So it's very difficult, but he did sound very frustrated. And that's why I kind of said last week why I thought they were going to struggle this season. I just don't see them having enough quality to stay up. I think I've said last week, and I'm going to stick to this. I think St Johnstone are going to go down, but I do think Livingston will finish second bottom and play in that playoff place. I just don't see enough about them. Whereas last week, I know it's only one game, but I saw enough of Ross County last week to say they're going to be fine. They'll be absolutely fine. But Livingston, I just don't see enough quality there.
Yeah, no, exactly. And as for Rangers, obviously, then between the European game, Graham, they've got a big game on Tuesday night in Switzerland. Do you think it would be a test for Michael Beale to change different formations, systems, and the players as well?
I think, see, when you're sending that many players, it's very difficult to get them all in a system and a formation and get them all to gel. And at the moment, he won't know what his best team is. And that's a worry for a lot of Rangers fans that I've seen as well, that they don't know what the best team is yet. He's going to have to get that right. You know, he now can change a few players. He's got a bigger squad, but it's making the right changes. I can see him making probably 3 or 4 changes tomorrow. But again, how's that going to disrupt the balance of the team? It's interesting to figure out what he's going to do. I do think they'll win tomorrow just because I'm just not confident with this Livingston team. I do think they'll win. But I think it'll be really, really tight. As I say, if Livingston keep it tight for as long as possible, they give themselves a chance. But if Rangers get an early goal, I think they'll score a few. I think Dessers looks all right. The boy Lammers missed an absolute sitter on Wednesday that he should have scored. So, you know, it'll take a bit of time to get up to speed, but they've got changes they can make. But I just think tomorrow, having lost last week, they need to win that game tomorrow, because I do expect Celtic to go to Aberdeen and win. So straight away, the pressure's on.
Yeah, no, exactly. How did you think that Rangers got on Wednesday night? I never got a chance to speak about that. They weren't at their top form, Graham. Okay, they won 2-1, but I mean, don't forget, I mean, that team has got was missing about 7 or 8 players.
Yeah, I mean, that was quite funny, because we're hearing about, oh, you know, Rangers have got a few players out. Well, how about Servette? You know, they had players that couldn't even get into the country because of different reasons. You know, they were missing a lot of players, and I genuinely believe, having watched what I did, I genuinely believe that Servette could cause Rangers problems next week. I honestly think Rangers could be in serious trouble next week. So it's a tough one. I think they were okay in spells on Wednesday, but they need to be better than that. You know, they have to be better than that. And I think going away from home, it's going to be difficult. But I genuinely think, looking at the Servette team, I think a better side, no disrespect to Rangers, but a better side would take a few goals off that Rangers team, because I don't think defensively are great yet. You know, there's a few mistakes in that team on Wednesday, so I think they're in for a very difficult game.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's on Tuesday night, that game, actually, on BBC One. Not on BBC One, on the BBC Scotland channel at 7:20. So just before you go, Graham, because I know you've got to go off in a wee bit, okay then, let's speak about Hearts on Sunday. You're going to a game against Kilmarnock. This could be a very entertaining game, because obviously Hearts got an away goal last night, but also Kilmarnock picked 3 points up last week at Ibrox at Rugby Park, so it should be a very entertaining game.
I hope so. I'm taking my laddie to this, so it should be hopefully a decent game. But you know, I'm more positive about the game from the second half yesterday than it was the first half. We looked a lot better second half with the changes we made. We do have players to come back. We've got Tagawa to come in. We've got Vargas, who signed just a few days ago, that weren't available yesterday. So we've got a much better squad now. Still without Barry Mackay, Craig Gordon, Craig Halkett. So we do still have issues there. But the squad looks a lot better. You know, the signing of Alex Lowry, I said last week, was a good signing. Maybe didn't offer as much yesterday, but that wasn't kind of his kind of game. And it'll be a difficult game, you know. Kilmarnock had come here with a lot of confidence after last week. They were very good. I thought they looked really impressive last week. But Hearts in the second half last week and the second half yesterday, it looked a lot better. We now just have to do that from the start. You know, we're at home, first home game of the season, in front of a big crowd. So hopefully we're starting the front foot. We didn't do that yesterday or last week. I'm excited to see how we're gonna line up tomorrow. I don't think Benny will play. He took a knock yesterday, but he wasn't great yesterday. It was a poor decision to start him. He's a great player, but there was a time and a place to start him, and yesterday wasn't it. So I'm expecting a really difficult game. I said last week, the fixtures, the way they've fallen, look really good. You know, we don't play Celtic and Rangers till October. We've got a great run, and we've got to win our home game starting on Sunday. Difficult game, but expecting us to win this by, I think it'll be 2-1. I think it'll be tight. I think Killie will score, but I think we've got enough going forwards. And already 2 games in, that's Lawrence Shanklin with 2 out of 2. He's in good form, having not actually been playing that well, but I think he could easily get a couple of goals on Sunday.
Yeah, no, and I think it will be quite a decent atmosphere at Tynecastle, not because you're going, Graham, because everybody's going to see Miss Good Duffy at the game. You're the half-time entertainment, I've heard. But no, it should be a good home support, and I think Kilmarnock will bring through a decent support from Kilmarnock as well.
Yeah, well, I think our pal Laurie might be there as a Kilmarnock fan, so he'll be looking forward to it as well. But it should be a decent atmosphere. It should be a decent game. As I said, Kilmarnock were very impressive last week. Sometimes when you play Celtic and Rangers, if you win, it's called lucky. It's called very fortunate. That wasn't the case last week. They deserved that win last week. They were excellent. They outfought Rangers, they outplayed Rangers and deserved to score. I'm hoping that they won't be like that on Sunday. It'll be a difficult game, as I said, but home advantage and the players that we've got to come in. We can afford to freshen that up now, I think. We do have players to come back in. I think there's absolutely no chance we can freshen it up. I'm looking forward to seeing what Kenneth Vargas can do, which is just the best Costa Rican name ever. Looking forward to seeing what Kiyosuke Tagawa can do. I think he'll probably come in for his first start, having looked really good last week. He looked very quick, which is what we lacked. But yeah, I think for me, this is a game we have to be looking to win. At home, in front of a massive crowd. I'm looking forward to this. I was at the Leeds friendly a couple of weeks ago. We weren't great, but I don't take a lot out of friendlies. It's about fitness, it's about getting minutes and legs. The real stuff is now, and I do think Kilmarnock. I wish Laurie was here actually, because I could have asked him about Kilmarnock. But this will be a difficult test for us. I was really impressed with a couple of other players last week, mainly defensively. I thought Lewis Mayo was excellent. The signing of Stuart Finlay, someone that I think Hearts should have gone for. Very good defender. And they look a unit now. They look a solid unit, which is why in one of the podcasts that I did a couple of weeks ago, when I was asked about my overachievers for the season, I said Kilmarnock, because I think they look very impressive. They do have a decent manager there, Derek McCass. This is going to be a tough test. I think Kilmarnock, for me, I don't think they'll finish top 6, but I think they'll finish maybe about 7th, just outside of that. But they'll be fine this season. And this was me having said last season I thought they could be relegated. My predictions don't tend to come true. But yeah, I think it'll be a difficult game Sunday. But I'm looking forward to this. Looking forward to seeing what we're going to do. Looking forward to seeing the new players. And I think after yesterday, I think there'll be 3 or 4 changes to that Hearts team. But they should all make a massive difference for me. I think Haring will start. And he was brilliant when he came on yesterday. Kingsley will come back in from the start because Cox did. Excited to see what we're going to do. Hopefully, I'm coming out of Tynecastle with my laddie having got a victory. Who's joining me here? Oh, Reagan's here. Let me add him to the stream so I can. There we go.
Hello, Dave. Hello, Graham. How are we doing?
All right. Not bad, my man. How's it going?
Where did Michael go? Did he get back on?
He's disappeared. Well, he needs to come back because I'm just going off in a minute. So he better come back on in a minute. But, while I've got you, I mean, what did you make of Hearts yesterday? And like I asked Dave, do you give Hearts a chance next week getting that goal back now? Only 1 goal in it?
I do. I mean, it's tight now, Graham. And I mean, they've definitely got a chance now, Hearts. I mean, in terms of the tie, it just changes the whole complexion of the tie. I mean, in terms of that goal, I mean, I'm sure at 2-0, you probably thought it was going to be no chance.
Yeah, pretty much.
When Shanklin got that goal, I thought it was great. I'm just a little bit surprised about the lack of transfer activity, Graham, and also the attacking options for me as well. I know they get Boyce back, and I've got Benigni back, but he got injured again last night. You probably seen that's stream. But I mean, it's it's interesting parts because I think they're kind of. It's a weird one because I was wanting them to do well, kind of, but I feel like they're digressing in terms of the recruitment. I gave Savage a pass last year in terms of the many players they brought in and stuff, but in terms of this now, I'm a little bit disappointed because I thought Hearts would be in better shape than they are. Do you expect them to be in better shape?
Well, we have actually brought quite a few players, and we've got Frankie Kent in, who I thought was great yesterday, and we've brought in Callum Neuenhoff, who couldn't play yesterday. We've brought in Kiyosuke Tagawa and Kenneth Vargas, who again couldn't play yesterday. So we have made signings, and I think at least two of them will start on Sunday just to freshen it up. Because the one thing that I've talked about all summer is the fact that we don't have any pace up front. Shanklin's brilliant, but he's not quick enough. We've addressed that now by bringing in guys like Tagawa and Kenny Vargas, who I'm looking forward to seeing. He's meant to be a really good player, very young. So we needed to freshen that up, and we've done that. Like I said a minute ago, I think bringing Benny back yesterday wasn't the right choice. You could see he wasn't fit. He was struggling. So when Haring came on, we looked a lot better yesterday. I do think we need another right back because we've only got Atkinson there. But apart from that, the squad's looking all right. You know, Liam Boyce is back, which is great. I do think we're still missing Craig Halkett. I think he's due back around about early September, I think. But the squad's looking better. It is looking better. But I do still believe that, and I've said this in another couple of podcasts as well, and listen, every fan of their own club is biased. But I've generally said that I think Hearts will finish third this season because I think Aberdeen in Europe will take a lot of them. I think Hibs, yes, they won yesterday, but I still don't think they're that, yeah, but I think a better team than Luzerne takes 4 or 5 off them, to be honest. I still think defensively they're struggling a bit. So I still think Hearts have got a decent squad to finish third. And if we don't, I'll be disappointed.
Yeah. See, in terms of, I was going to have one more question for you. Obviously, I've not been here for the past few weeks of the season joining, but what do you make of the partnership with Stephen Naismith and Frankie McAvoy? Because it's a bit of a strange one, to be honest.
I mean, I've talked about this before. I think it was a decision that didn't need to be made. I think there was better people out there. And as much as Naismith and McAvoy did they had the 7 games, but they only won 2 of them. So that, for me, shouldn't have been enough to get them the job. And I think they should have, for me, it's a very cheap option. And a few Hearts fans have said that. It's a cheap option. We've basically gone, do you know what? They did fine, give them the job. I thought there was better managers out there, but I'll back them 100%. It is, for me, an experiment. It's a risk, because if it doesn't work, then fans of other clubs, as they've done already, are going to rate. And to be honest, I've said it myself. If I wasn't a Hearts fan, I'd be laughing as well. But it is what it is. I need to go, guys, so I shall hopefully catch you later on.
Okay, thanks for joining us.